Sister, yes, sister, yes. While we were praying, I noticed that you had nail polish on. Then I started thinking about how your prayer is not being accepted because your wudu is invalid. Then I said to myself that as soon as I got done praying that I had to let you know that you may not be Muslim because you haven't been praying because your wudu is invalid because you got nail polish on. So, yeah. Assalamu alaikum. First of all, you shouldn't be so quick to judge, sister, because this is in fact breathable nail polish, okay? I know what I'm doing. I watched the coffee filter test on YouTube, alright? And second of all, how are you so sure that your prayer is being accepted when you're over there 2 sisters down contemplating my Muslimness? What you're gonna say to me afterwards while you're praying? I don't know. Peace everyone, this is Amira here, and today's video is the highly anticipated breathable nail polish review. I wanted to make this video to be the change that I want to see. And the specific change that I want to see is how we test these breathable nail polishes. There are other reviews out there that, you know, demonstrate the water permeability of these breathable nail polishes. But some of them are a little less than desirable. I'm not even gonna say what that kind of looks like. Kind of looks like, we won't even say, you know, I'll leave that to your imagination. When it comes to the method of testing, I see people putting on really sparse amounts of nail polish, but you know, that looks like enough. That's about the size of a nail, right? I see them really gooping it on there. So let's, you know, let's go in. Let's just really go in on this. I don't know how long this is gonna take to dry, but you know, we're just going for it. And not letting it dry all the way before putting the water on. And we're just gonna dip our finger in, right? And we're gonna just go in. Wow! It went through, look at that. Look at that, even the nail polish went through. I mean, maybe that could be because I didn't let it dry all the way, but you know, I consider this a pass too. Yeah, that's a pass. And a whole host of other things that I feel are really compromising the test or not being conclusive enough because the test was botched, basically. Well, let's go ahead and pour that on there right there. Let's see. Oh, psh. Wow, I really don't feel like doing this over, you know what I mean? I would say that this is a pass. Yeah, let's say it's a pass. I say it's a pass. All right, let's just go and pour it on. Oh, jeez. We are winning all day. Winning all day. So my hope with this video is to give a really honest review on these. No one's paying me to do this. No one sent me any of these products for free. So I feel like that's the best way to test these without any bias. For those of you who may be wondering, why is nail polish or breathable nail polish important anyway? And let's start with explaining what wudu is. Wudu is the ritual washing for Muslims before they pray. It gets us ready spiritually, mentally, and physically to worship. The requirements for wudu is that the water has to pass over every part that's required of your wudu. So that means even the smallest of parts, even your nails. So if you have nail polish on your nails, it's a barrier that prevents water washing over that particular part. The general understanding is that nail polish isn't haram, but you have to remove it before you make wudu so that your wudu can be valid. Now, I will acknowledge that there are different opinions on the subject of nail polish and wudu, but the general one is you need to remove it before you make wudu. But in the case of breathable nail polish, it can allow for you to make wudu over the nail polish because the breathable or water permeable nail polish lets the water touch your nail plate. In 2009, Inglot released its O2M breathable nail enamel. It was the first of its kind to allow water and air molecules to penetrate through the polish to the nail plate underneath. Inglot didn't start to see an increase in sales of this product until about 2013, when Muslim women started to buy it with the intention to make wudu and the water still reached the nail, making it so that they wouldn't have to take the nail polish off before making wudu as they would a traditional nail polish. After this time, you start to see more brands coming up with their versions of breathable nail polishes or water permeable nail polishes, and them using coffee filters or paper towels to test water permeability of these products. But one thing I wonder, are nails really like similar to paper towels? Because I'm just a little bit skeptical about that. Am I wrong? And as it turned out, I wasn't the only one with this question. I don't get it though. You're doing this with a paper towel. Doesn't everything go through a paper towel? Or am I wrong? Really, I'm just asking. Smiley face. As a biochemist, I could say that nail polish may react with the paper towel, making a completely different substance. Such tests should only be conducted on real nails. When asked about the use of the coffee filter resembling the flexibility of the human nail, Inglot stated the following: "We are working on finding a different testing surface other than a coffee filter that would resemble a surface of human nail. For the purpose of future experiments, we have invested in purchasing more advanced testing equipment." So this statement was made by Inglot in 2013. It is now 2018 and there's still no new test on any substance other than the coffee filter video that they already have up. So it was up to me to try to figure out what other ways I could test the water permeability of these nail polishes, other than the paper towels, just to show what other results we can get and what information we can glean from this. So let's dive into it. So here we have some really overexposed film. This camera is still kind of new to me, so I'm still learning its settings and all of that, but I thought I would still include this footage just so that you see that I did test these nail polishes out quite a few times before I made the final cuts. As you can see, you know, some of them were going through, but it's just still not as visible as I wanted it to be, so I started over. Anyway, here are the three non-permeable nail polishes that I'm going to be using in this video up against the breathable nail polishes. And then there was this film right here. Nothing was really wrong with it as far as visually speaking, but I felt like it was very similar to, or the results were very similar to the paper towel test, so I didn't end up reshooting this, but I also again wanted to include it to show that I did in fact try to put some diversity about these tests in this video. This particular test right here was done using sheets of the nail polish on its own. I achieved getting these samples by painting it onto a yogurt lid and peeling it up very carefully, then using the pipette to put the water on, and then trying to rub it through to see the water permeability of just the nail polish on its own. Even when I did this test before I reached out to the company and them telling me that it was a flawed test, I kind of felt like it would be a flawed test because of, you know, it just being the nail polish and not the nail polish on something. So that ended up being the reason why this particular test didn't make the final cut as well. This is what Tuesday in Love had to say about the yogurt lid test. So as for doing the test on the yogurt lid and then removing the nail polish, although this is an interesting approach, it is a bit flawed due to the nature of our nail polish. Think of the nail polish as rubber balloon with tiny holes in it. When it's stretched over a rough surface, the holes widen. The same way when our nail polish is applied to an uneven surface, such as a paper towel or even your nails, the complex dries and creates microscopic holes that allow the water to permeate through. If you were to remove the balloon off the rough surface, the holes would shrink. The same concept applies to the nail polish that's removed from the plastic lid. Although it looks the same size, at the molecular level, the pores are not wide enough to let the water pass through. So that's what they had to say about that. You can rewind this part of the video and listen to that again if you want. This Tuesday in Love nail polish that I'm mixing up with an orange stick gave me some trouble in earlier testing, so I reached out to the company and they told me this. When doing the water permeability test, it is always important to shake the bottle well in order to mix the permeability complex thoroughly throughout the nail polish. With colors like the gold and silver, because they are a bit thicker in consistency, it may take more thorough mixing in order for the complex to mix through. And I just want to state that I shook every single bottle really good before I would paint them onto these little pieces of paper towel to give each one a fair chance. But I gave this particular color a little bit more mixing just because it had failed so many times, and it's supposed to be from a brand that says you don't have to rub it in to get it to go through. So that's the reason why I followed their suggestion on that. So right here I'm just finishing up the rest of these test swatches, just painting them up and letting them dry for about 3 hours. And then after I let them dry for 3 hours, I cut them in half so that I would have one side that would be 1 coat, and then I had another side that would be 2 coats so that we could test 1 coat up against 2 coats. So here we have the 2 Tuesday in Love samples. To the right we have the color Stargirl. To the left we have Watch Me Nene, which is the gold color that I had given me trouble before, and as you can see, it's still not going through, and I had let this sample sit there for at least 30 minutes before I tried to rub it through. So again, it failed even after I stirred and mixed and shook it like crazy. In this clip, I show the Aquarella emerald green color, and if you look to the bottom left corner of the screen, you'll see that this one in fact did go through without rubbing as well, but it did take about 10 minutes for it to do so. But you could see it seeping through without any intervention on my part. So to the right here we have Maya in the color Pretty Penny, which is obviously a water permeable nail polish, and to the left we have Mineral Fusion, which is a non-permeable nail polish. And I did this kind of pairing to see how well the water permeable nail polish works up against its counterpart, a non-permeable nail polish. And as you can see here, Maya went through while Mineral Fusion did not. Our next pairing is 786 in the color Fez up against Sinful Colors in purple, or whatever color that is. As you can see, it didn't go in on the first try. So I gave it a second go, and you know, water permeable is on the right while the non-permeable is to the left. So 786 is to the right and Sinful Colors is to the left. And I'm just going to reiterate that Sinful Colors is not a water permeable nail polish, so I was really stumped as to how the Sinful Colors went through with the rubbing test while 786 barely went through. So here we have Orally to the right, which is a breathable nail polish, and then we have Sally Henson's Hard as Nails Extreme Wear to the left. And as you can see, they both went through, even though Orally is the only one that is breathable here, which is pretty much reflective of all the other tests I had done previous with these nail polishes. Here we have Inglot going up against Tuesday in Love. Obviously, Inglot goes through after rubbing for about 15 seconds, 10 seconds, and we shouldn't have had to rub in the Tuesday in Love one because that one is supposed to be a no rubbing one. So here we're moving on to the 2 coat samples, and this is the Inglot one. It did go through, but in a kind of strange way, unlike the first time I did it with just the 1 coat sample. This is the 2 coat sample for 786. This one also had a weird way of going in. Since I was rubbing it in the middle, why did it come out on the top? It's kind of strange. Next we have Orally, and I had to really rub this one in to try to get it to work. And even after the 2 times that I did go and rub it through, it still didn't go through. And I always kind of like didn't trust Orally at least just in this color that I had bought from them. Just because of how shiny and glossy it is and how it repels water, it seems, not allowing it to really, the water to go through. This one is the Maya sample, and I'm really trying to rub these in, and that's all that comes out on the other side, just one small wet spot. And yeah, if you ask me, all these kind of failed in the 2-coat application for me. They weren't as convincing as the 1-coat ones were. So what you may be expecting me to say now is Tuesday in Love won, right? The only reason why I hesitate to say that with full confidence right now is because, is the paper towel test really the best test? And I kind of alluded to that in the beginning of the video when I brought up how Inglot was looking into using a different substance that's more like the human nail to test their nail polish on. But as I also discussed in the beginning of the video, they never released any new test or talked about it again after mentioning that. So then it got me thinking during the course of this video that I should look into this. It had me asking questions like, how absorbent is the human nail? And if a paper towel is in fact the closest thing that we can get to understanding the permeability of these nail polishes, then obviously paper towels are more absorbent than nails are. So how long would it take water to reach the nail through the nail polish? But however the water is going through, I doubt it's going through like this. Because to be truthful, if it did, your nail polish would literally just come off in one sheet. So while scouring the internet, I found that bare nails can hold about 1/3 their weight in water. So when I found that out, I naturally started to wonder how much water a paper towel could hold. And I found out it holds about half its weight in water. So obviously the paper towel holds more water and is more absorbent than a nail is. So eventually, finding out that information, I stumbled upon a blog or an article that was discussing how to prevent chipped nail polish. And then that led me down a whole nother road completely. And for now, this is where I'm going to leave part 1 of this review. Part 2 will be coming soon. And in part 2, we're going to be discussing some more controversial things regarding nail polish and just opening up our minds to some new ideas possibly. So hopefully you guys are going to be ready for that. And in part 2, I'm also going to share more of my thoughts on all of this and more about the previous testing. I just didn't want to make this video too long for you guys because it's already pretty long as it is. But hopefully I can also keep you entertained with the next video, and until next time, I'll see ya. Peace.